Global Citizen is a non-profit organization dedicated to ending poverty, defending the planet, demanding equity, and also taking strides in ending the nightmare which is the COVID-19 global pandemic. In this video, myself and my partners will be outlining the ways in which Global Citizen is providing relief for these efforts, as well as letting you know how you can join in on the action to help people all across the world during these terrifying times. One of Global Citizen's main goals is to end extreme poverty across the world. Extreme poverty refers to parts of the population that are living on less than $1.90 US a day. These low wages and income create populations that are very much at risk for disease or disaster. As demonstrated by this figure, the most impacted areas of extreme poverty are in the global south. More specifically, Asia, South America, and Africa, with many industrialized countries not having to see the effects of extreme poverty. It's very easy for us to neglect this without fully understanding the issue. Many of these impoverished areas are at risk of natural disasters. Take, for example, this image of the 2010 earthquake in Chile, a disastrous event that the country has still not yet recovered from to this day. Without proper funding and aid being sent to these areas, and as horrific events like this continue to happen, many people will lose their lives, and these communities will continue to be damaged without repair. Global Citizen is fighting for this cause by providing access to health care, education, and as well as clean food and water for these impoverished communities. Providing health care and aid to communities is extremely important for those impacted by disaster. Providing education can assist in getting people out of poverty. And providing basic human necessities such as food and water are quite literally life-saving. The pandemic has forced millions of people into poverty. These countries have limited access to vaccines and healthcare, and as a result has left a devastating effect on these communities. The fight to end poverty cannot continue as strong as it can until we see the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. We need to provide health care and vaccines to these countries. To help in this effort today, you can join the fight at globalcitizen.org or by downloading the Global Citizen app. I would like to thank you all very much for listening, and if you could, my project partners will be detailing the other movements that the Global Citizen Project is involved in. Thank you for your time.
Global Citizen is the non-profit organization that is trying to solve the climate change issue and is trying to defend the planet. The main problem with the climate change is that it increases dramatically and it causes mass flooding and sea levels to rise. The world's poorest people contributes the least to the problem but suffers the most from it. Because of the climate change, it impacted their ability to access nutritious foods. They had health problems. Humans are increasingly influencing climate change every day by burning fossil fuels, cutting down forests, and farming livestock. It adds enormous amount of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, which makes climate change even worse. People who live in poverty often suffer the most consequences while having little to no support. They're struggling to earn the living and feed their families, but they also have to worry about the climate around them because it makes it more difficult. Um, on the map of the US, you can see how climate change will affect the coastlines in the next 30 years. People will be forced to move inland because of the flooding. Also, the climate change has impacted many people through the years. In 2017, Hurricane Maria slammed into Puerto Rico, becoming the deadliest hurricane in the recent U.S. history. More than 2 years later, the island is still recovering from the disaster. Homes need to be repaired and rebuilt after supplies have not been fully restored. Schools and hospitals remain closed, and the island economy have been heavily disrupted. Throughout Puerto Rico, the poorest communities were hit the hardest and are the furthest away from recovery, while many wealthy people left the island or used the resources to rebuild. The poorest communities suffers the most. This is not the only example, and there is more coming in the future if we don't stop the climate change and we won't help the planet. There are many ways you can help, starting with your home. Choosing a utility company that generates at least half of the power from wind or solar or sun would help. Powering your home with renewable energy is the great way to actually help and stop climate change. Global citizens are joining forces across the countries and the continents with one clear message for decision makers is now or never to defend the planet. As a global citizen, we urge you to please protect the environment, to support community living in poverty who are bearing the burden of the climate crisis. There's a couple ways you can help by voicing your concern via social media or better yet directly to your elected officials. You can send a message about the climate change and help it. Encouraging Congress to enact new laws that limit carbon emission and the atmosphere would definitely help to reduce the problem. Everyone have to be the part of the solution. There is a lot that needs to be done, and the sooner we start, the better the chances we have to solve the problem and save the planet. By visiting www.globalcitizen.org, you can find more information on the way you can help the planet. Their website provides the latest information on climate change and ways you can volunteer and donate to help support solving the climate change issue and saving our planet for better and for the future.
Global Citizen is an organization that encourages people to do their part in protecting and defending our planet and the people on it. Being a global citizen means being aware of the world around you and your place in it. It's important to take action to prevent and help fix global issues as the present heavily dictates the future. One of the main focuses of the project is demanding equity. Global Citizen focuses on the lack of opportunity and unfair treatment different groups face for many different reasons. People face inequity based on their gender, race, sexual orientation, disability, and more. Everyone wants to reach their full potential, and it's important that everyone has the same opportunities to do that, especially those that already face disadvantages. Global Citizen allows individuals to take action and do their part in a variety of ways. Currently, 638,225 total actions have been taken in an effort to demand equity. Global Citizen also offers many educational tools and brings awareness and information to people who may not understand the lack of opportunity others face. Some of the resources Global Citizen offers includes things like quizzes and important petitions to sign. A lot of these actions often call on world leaders and celebrities to spread awareness and use their platform to bring an end to inequity. You can also download Global Citizen's app for an easy access on your phone and complete the actions there. It's important to stay active and aware in the world around you in order to have a better future. If people ignore the issues being faced by those around them, they will never get better. We should all strive for a society where everyone has the same opportunities to reach their goals. Global Citizen created the perfect outlet to do this, and is creating a movement that hopes to guarantee an equal and just future. You can easily do your part and learn more about global issues like inequity at the website or on the app.